They're constantly accusing me of being the stalker when I have absolutely no interest in what they are doing, unless it pertains to me. It is not stalking to try to deplatform my abusers. This man drives a truck that he bought because he held a fundraiser to desecrate my little brother's grave. I'm not stalking him, but I'm not going to allow him to hurt anybody else that way. It's not right. So if it goes on YouTube, I'm going to speak out about it. He is stalking me. He has people that follow me every time I leave my apartment so that he can get content for his channel to profit. They accuse me of doing what he does to me, which is a typical abuser standpoint. And that's why I'm bringing all of this up, because y'all ask, well, why? What does this have to do with abusers? What does this have to do with murderers? Because every murderer in existence has used these exact phrases to belittle and demean their victim and make people believe that they deserved it. And if people would open their eyes and pay attention to the signs that they're very clearly giving out, something might be done to stop it. I've said before, if these people weren't online, they would have basements with people chained up in them, because it's the type of human being that they are. And even though they don't need to physically hurt somebody now, because they can emotionally destroy a person to make them kill themselves. And they're just as happy with that. They don't need to be the one to hold the knife, they just need to know that somebody died because of them to be happy. And the longer they're allowed to profit doing this, the more dangerous they become, because the more followers they get that think that it's okay to do this. They've had like 4 new channels holding fundraisers to desecrate my little brother's grave, just because they realized it was okay. If Adonis Paul can do it, anybody can do it. And they've made their money and dragged my little brother's memory and tarnished it forever for me. I can't ever think about him without the realization that multiple people have earned money to desecrate his grave. They've allowed my abusive family back into my life and given her constant validation that she's not abusive. They have to validate each other constantly that what they're doing isn't a problem, what they're doing is right, what they're doing is deserved. You'll see it in the comments, in mine, in theirs. They're constantly reassuring each other that it's okay. Just like a group of children in a basement beating a girl. It's okay because everybody here says it's okay. When do people start saying it's not okay? When do people start realizing that this type of behavior is detrimental? That it's not right? That nobody could ever deserve to be treated the way that they treat people. No matter how much they scream that the person deserves it. Nobody deserves to have their family members' graves desecrated for money. Nobody deserves to be told to kill themselves every day for over a year. Nobody deserves to lose their health care and their medications because people harassed the therapist and the doctor. Nobody deserves any of this. But they'll constantly tell you that I do. Even after I die, they will still be screaming, she's faking, and we didn't do it. It's her own fault. They will never take accountability for what they've done, and they will never stop. That's why we have to deplatform them, to force them to stop, to save lives, because they're gonna kill somebody. They have been ramping up the abuse ever since they started on me, and they are going to wind up killing somebody if somebody doesn't stop them. There is still hope right now that all of their victims can get past this. But how long do we have to scream out and beg and say, we don't want this? We don't like this. We don't like you. We want you to leave us alone. Nobody on his channel wants to be on his channel. He steals content from people. And then when they tell him that they don't want him using your content, he says, oh, it's copyright free. This is what the platform is. This is what it is. And there's no way to stop him unless he's deplatformed. Please hear me. Dear Lord, somebody please hear this video. I've made so many, and nobody ever hears them. It's just going to the same group of abusers. It will never reach out far enough because the group of abusers surrounding me is so thick. They're in the thousands, and I can never possibly scream out loud enough to be heard over them. That's why I thought the hashtags might work, might get my videos to people who aren't abusers themselves.